We live in a world that's just obsessed with efficiency, with optimization. But in all that hustle, have we forgotten how to just be? Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical challenge to all of that, coming from the philosopher Martin Heidegger.
And this question, right? It really hits home. It's about our daily lives. So, what we're going to do is use Heidegger's ideas to unpack a totally different way of thinking, one that goes way beyond simple calculation and, asks us to see the world in a whole new light.
Okay, so first things first. Heidegger really puts his finger on this one way of thinking that's so dominant today. And he argues that, it's basically trapped us. He has a name for it, calculating thinking. And you know exactly what this is. It's the mindset behind all those productivity hacks, all the life optimization stuff. It's that part of our brain that's always planning, organizing, and looking for a measurable result. It views the world as just a series of problems to solve or resources to manage, always rushing from one thing to the next. And when we look through that lens, the world kind of transforms into what Heidegger calls a standing reserve. Think about it. A forest stops being this amazing place of wonder and just becomes lumber. A river isn't a living, breathing ecosystem anymore. It's a source of hydroelectric power. Heck, even our own time becomes this resource we have to maximize. Everything gets boiled down to its usefulness, what it can do for us. Now, to be fair, Heidegger isn't saying we should just throw this way of thinking out the window. I mean, we need it, right? To organize our lives, to get stuff done. But he contrasts it with meditative thinking. And this is totally different. It's more reflective, more open. It doesn't just ask, hey, what can I do with this thing? Instead, it kind of pauses and just wonders, wait, what is this? What does it all mean?
Okay, so if we're feeling stuck in this world of pure calculation, where's the escape hatch? How do we find an alternative? Well, Heidegger points us to a place we probably overlook all the time: language itself.
And he gives us this really profound idea in one of his most famous lines. Language is the house of being. Now, this isn't just some pretty poetic phrase. Nope. It is a complete, fundamental rethinking of our relationship to the world and, well, everything in it. Most of the time, we treat language like a tool, right? Like a hammer. We use it to get information across, to get what we want. But for Heidegger, it's completely the other way around. Language isn't the tool, it's the house we live in. It's the very atmosphere where our whole reality gets built and where the world can actually show itself to us. So we're not just using words, we're literally living inside of them. All right, so if language is our home, what's the view like from the inside? What kind of world does it show us? Heidegger would say it's way more than just a warehouse full of resources for us to calculate and use up. Instead, he talks about this incredibly rich, interwoven reality he calls the fourfold. And this is his way of helping us see the world not as just a bunch of separate things, but as this dynamic, unified whole where four huge dimensions are always interacting, always playing together. So let's look at these four corners. First up, we've got the Earth. And he doesn't just mean the planet, the rock we're on. He means the nourishing ground, the soil, the thing that shelters us and brings everything to life. Then you look up, and there's the sky. This is what holds the whole rhythm of our lives, day and night, the sun, the seasons. It's this huge cosmic dance that really shapes our entire existence. The third corner he calls the divinities. Now, this isn't necessarily about one specific religion. It's more about the messengers of the sacred, those moments or things that point to a dimension of wonder, of awe, something that's just beyond what we can immediately see and measure. And the last corner? That's mortals. That's us. And what defines us is our unique awareness that our time is limited. We know we're going to die. And for Heidegger, that's not a downer. It's actually the key. That awareness is what allows us to truly dwell here, to bring all four of these parts, earth, sky, divinities, and us, together into one meaningful reality. So, okay, how do we actually live in this rich four-part world? What does it mean to be authentic here? This question really gets us to the absolute core of Heidegger's whole vision for a different way to live. To describe it, he borrows this incredible line from the poet Friedrich Hölderlin. But seriously, what in the world does it mean to dwell poetically? Okay, and this is super important. He doesn't mean we all have to go out and write sonnets. That's not it at all. For Heidegger, dwelling poetically is a way of being. It's not about escaping into some fantasy land.
It's actually about building a life that genuinely connects you to the earth. It's about being receptive, being caring, and just letting things be instead of constantly trying to bend them to your will.
All right, so what's the magic ingredient here? What's the attitude we need to adopt to live like this? What's the real, practical countermove to that default setting of calculating everything? Heidegger's answer is this amazing concept he calls Gelassenheit. It's a German word, but it translates pretty well to releasement, or maybe even better, the art of just letting be. And let's get one thing straight right away. This is not about being passive or lazy. Not at all. In fact, Heidegger sees it as a kind of higher activity. It's like an active waiting, a deep openness that lets the world and the things in it show themselves to you on their own terms, without you trying to cram them into your neat little boxes and 5-year plans. So you see, this whole idea of releasement, it's the key. It's the thing that ties all of this together. It's the mindset that unlocks that meditative thinking we talked about. It's what lets us see the world as that amazing, vibrant fourfold. And ultimately, it's what makes it possible for us to dwell poetically inside that house of being. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on, right? In this world of ours that just demands constant action, constant planning, constant results, what would happen? What might you discover if you found the courage to just step back, take a breath, and simply let things be?